Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and I thought we could take a couple minutes to talk about the Thunderbolts. Well, if you're a follower of this channel, you know we've been talking about a Thunderbolts project for quite a while. The team over at GWW, specifically Comics Kid, had reported on this quite a while ago, and yesterday we finally got some official confirmation on the project. Now, it's been pretty clear to many fans, based on some things that have happened over the last year, that Marvel has some sort of Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers project in the works, and Deadline has finally confirmed this is actually happening. What Deadline did confirm is that we have a writer and a director for the project. The writer is Black Widow scribe Eric Pearson, and the director will be Robot and Frank and Dave director Jake Schreier. Now, this is a Marvel movie, so they're not giving us a lot of plot details, but the trade is quoted as saying it'll be around a group of supervillains who go on missions for the government. This obviously sounds very, very similar to DC Comics' Suicide Squad, just Marvel's take on the project. Now, if you're unfamiliar with them in the comics, they were introduced as a new superhero team when all of the Avengers were declared dead after the events of Onslaught, but it was eventually revealed that they were the Masters of Evil, just in disguise in a classic comic book reveal. Now, interestingly though, in the comics, most of the team members actually did reform at some level, and truly became a force for good, but this is really on a character-by-character basis, and that's really the big question. Now, we've all been wondering what Valentina Allegra de Fontaine was doing in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Black Widow, and it's pretty clear to me now that's what she was recruiting for. This likely means John Walker, aka US Agent, is a pretty strong bet, along with Yelena Belova, who is an absolute new fan favorite as portrayed by Florence Pugh. But this brings us to the list of other potential characters. Now, we've seen a return of the Abomination in several recent projects, including Shang-Chi and She-Hulk, so I totally expect him to be part of this. There's also the possibilities of Zemo returning, although I don't think the Wakandans are likely to be very flexible on that. Some other characters mentioned that have already been in the MCU have been Ghost, Taskmaster, and even Bucky Barnes himself, and quite honestly, I could see Bucky being part of this as kind of the straight guy on the team. That would actually have pretty good comical effect. Now, the team itself in the comics has a lot of other members that haven't even been introduced into the MCU. The Red Hulk, the Punisher, and most interestingly, and I think this will be a perfect place for him to appear, Deadpool. Now, this will be a Marvel movie, so there's obviously going to be some comedy mixed in with the action here, and adding Deadpool to this would be the absolutely perfect team member and might be the perfect spot to add the character. Having him part of a team allows his introduction to be short and maybe even built around a joke, not requiring a lot of explanation. Now, how this fits into the Marvel schedule and where Deadpool 3 pops up, it's still kind of hard to tell. Apparently, Thunderbolts will shoot in 2023, and I actually think that's likely when Deadpool 3 will shoot, creating all kinds of interesting possibilities down in Atlanta where they shoot these projects. Now, like we were saying, in typical Marvel fashion, there's not a lot of other details revealed about this project. I do suspect Marvel will cherry pick some of their most fan favorite villains, and then also introduce a couple of more to make up this team. Keep in mind, team movies for Marvel seem to do a good bit better than solo adventures, and this does not surprise me at all. Now, how they implement the Thunderbolts, we'll have to wait and see. I think James Gunn's last Suicide Squad project really gave Marvel some pretty good ideas on how to make a team of villains work while connecting with the audience. Sadly, I think Gunn's done with Marvel after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think he would have been great for this project, but I would totally see how he wouldn't want to do it since it's such a repeat of what he just did over at DC Films. Now, obviously, if we get any more Thunderbolts news, we're going to bring it to you right away. They are a fun team, and this is going to be something new and interesting for Marvel Studios, possibly taking us in a different direction. I think the key question here will be, will this be a PG-13 movie, or will this drift into that rated R area that Deadpool is going to kick off next year? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates. Peace.